Hey, what's up, everybody? Technical difficulties. You are in the right spot. I do apologize. Um, it. I don't know. Before I started the show, everything was great. I was talking to my guest tonight, and then all of a sudden, everything went haywire. But you are in the right spot. Welcome to another episode of Shape the Podcast. Um, you guys know me. I'm Kyle Waller. I'm your host. Um, hope you've all had a great week. Hope you've all had a great 2 weeks. Because, as you know, the last show was hosted by my wife, um, who is wearing a Ohio State Buckeye shirt tonight instead of the I Love Mr. Baby Hand shirt. Um, those of you who watched the podcast with her and Erica saw that she had on a custom-made shirt that says I Love Mr. Baby Hands. That's because I am Mr. Baby Hands. But anyways, enough rambling. Got an exciting show for you guys tonight. I have Mr. Jason Sewell and his daughter Olivia on tonight. Um, they're going to come on and they're going to talk about Olivia's journey, her mental health journey, and she's where she's at with that today, and where they are at with that today as a family. So sit back, enjoy the show. I'm going to bring them on, and let's just hope I don't have any more technical difficulties.
Disclaimer.
What's up?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, Kyle.
Did you hear all that? Like, that there was nothing technical about that? All right. I hope we reset the router, so hopefully that works. All right. But thank you both for allowing me to have you on the show. I do. And come on, look, I just gotta pray to the gods real quick, all right? Because it just glitched again. So I met Jason through Lucky Boy Beard Co. We actually met in West Virginia at a beard and mustache competition, and I explained to Jason, what Shape is all about, and then he told me, hey, I have an awesome daughter who I think would be great for the show, and told me a little bit about her story. But Jason, go ahead and introduce you and your daughter to the folks that are watching who don't know who you are, or if they know who you are, maybe they need to be reintroduced to you.
Well, those of you that do know me as Original J from Lucky Boy, and those of you that don't now do. And this is my daughter, Olivia.
Hi.
Say hi.
I am saying hi.
And yeah, it was. I was happy to meet you down in West Virginia, and when you told me about your show, I thought it was a great and noble thing that you're doing, and I'm proud of you for doing it.
It takes great noble people to want to come on the show and share their stories. So speaking of that, let's just get into that. However you guys want to start, I'll let you start there, and I'll throw some questions at you. Maybe depends on how much I cry.
Well,
me.
I'm going to let Olivia steer this ship. So
I should throw real quick. I should throw a disclaimer out there just for everybody. Tonight's show might be a little hard for people to handle, just because of the sensitive nature of it all. So there might be things that you might remember or bring up a trigger in your lives. Just to let you know, if there is and you need to talk about it, you can easily reach out to me or anybody for that matter, or just turn the podcast off for the night. I hate to say that, but I'm just gonna say that it might be too difficult for some to watch or some to listen to. So, all right. Anyways, go ahead, Olivia.
Okay. Don't know where to start, but I guess my mental health has always been good up until I just turned 15, day before 14. It was the day after my birthday, and some family member had chose to bring me to a dance class that was for a week, and one thing led to another, and he ended up assaulting me in my own home, not this house, That would never happen under this house. It was my father's house. And I didn't say anything until after dance. I decided to tell them, and unfortunately they said that, they'll take care of it. And I'm saying unfortunate because it was not taken care of in the way it was supposed to. I was told that they would take care of it, and that I shouldn't tell anyone because they're taking care of it. Anyone, including police, doctors, any other family member that didn't know about it. 6 months go by. I'm in the dark. I'm having panic attacks. I'm by myself dealing with this because I did not get help from anyone, not including the people that knew. I have these heart flutters. I'm not sure if they're fully panic attacks, but I know they were at the time. And I ended up going to a cardiologist. They asked the big question of if you've ever been assaulted sexually, verbally, physically. And I was confused on what to answer. And I'm already going to start crying. It's been like 3 minutes.
It's all good. I got a tear, don't worry.
Yeah. So the big question came up, and I was confused on what to answer because it made it seem, the fact that they didn't do anything except for kind of brush it aside and made me internalize it. I kind of was like, was that wrong? Obviously it's wrong, but when it happens to you and you don't get the help that you need, don't feel like you just start to feel like maybe like it didn't happen. Maybe it wasn't wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking things.
Yeah. No,
100%, more than 100%.
It's wrong. Definitely wrong. Right?
Yeah.
And I think, I hate to use the words, it's very sick and very wrong that they made you hide it. I'm glad I don't know who those people are, because I'd give them a swift kick in the ass. Pardon my language, but it takes, I don't know, it. Like I told you earlier, fucking brave,
Yeah.
like.
Thank you.
You are. I mean, I could never fathom that, especially if it's my child,
Yeah.
No. So if anybody out there is dealing with this right now, or it's done with
Come forward.
Yes.
Even if you feel, my biggest thing is, even if you don't know if it's wrong or not, talk to someone professional, because their job is to make sure you're safe. There's confidentiality of, as long as you're not harming anyone or yourself, then they don't come forward. If they have to come forward because you're confessing into something that you don't know is wrong or not, you're being brave, you're taking a step forward, you're speaking up for yourself, and nothing's wrong with you. You didn't do anything to choose it. And that's something that I struggled with for the longest time. I didn't do anything to provoke it. I didn't do anything to make it seem like it was okay. None of it was my fault. And that's something, even today, I still struggle with it, but I have the help that I need now to make sure that I know. And even any response to it, if you don't feel comfortable, even if you freeze and don't say anything, if you did not want it, it's not consensual. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship with them and you've had relationships of like a sexual kind of manner before. If you are not willing to do so and it happens, it's still assault. Even I mean, physically, there's no excuse for that either. And verbally too. I've been all sorts of abused, unfortunately, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, like, come forward is the big point. Mm-hmm. Come forward, no matter how you feel about it. If you think it was your fault, if you think you shouldn't say anything because you're scared, the right thing will happen when you come forward. And by doing that, you will change your life. And I changed my life in January when I told the cardiologist. Not only did that event change my life, but coming forward changed my life, because then I got the greatest support him and my mom
Yeah.
on my side. And if you want to talk about a little bit how you feel when you found out, I'm sure that matters.
I was ready to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it completely shattered and rocked your mother and mine's world. And the worst part was that we knew you suffered for months without our ability to be there and be the help and support for you that you deserve and you're supposed to have. You know, your parents are supposed to be there to help you through everything. But if the story doesn't come forward, we can't be there to help you. And that's
Exactly.
not your fault
Yeah.
because you were pushed in that direction.
Yeah.
But it destroyed us knowing that we couldn't be there to help her during that time when she needed it the most, when everything was the wound was the freshest.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. It sucks because, you know, I'm sure it happens every day, every week, every year. People are afraid to speak out about it, you know, and they shouldn't be. You know, they shouldn't be afraid to speak out about stuff because of what people might think or repercussions, you know. But you did the right thing, you know. I mean, you did the best thing, you know, and it sucks that you're still having to deal with it today, but you now know those steps to take, you know, and that's and hey, you got a good guy right beside you, you know. He might not be dad, but he's dad. You
He's
know?
dad.
Yeah, you know, I mean, heck, hey, I'd kill somebody too if I were him. You know?
Yeah, and that's another thing I learned is blood does not make you family. You don't owe blood shit. Just because whether that's, you know, your parents or your siblings or your cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, you don't owe them shit because they are family.
Yeah.
And that's not saying, you know, if they don't, you know, let you go out, you should disown them. But
yeah.
Oh, can you say that again, please?
But I'm saying that through you, I have learned that family is who you choose to be your family.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. You don't have to be like, especially in the breeding community, that, you know, that there's family. I have family in the breeding community, just like I have family outside of my community. But here's the thing. I have friends that I would go to the ends of the earth with.
I would take a vote for people.
And that I consider family, you know, and that I hope and pray that if, part of my language, shit like this happened, that they would be able to come to me and be like, hey, I need to talk to you about this. I'm scared of what's going on, you know? And I would say, just like them and everybody else, I'm here to tell you, I'll be right there to hold your hand. Because people held my hand when I was going through a dark time, you know? And that's what we need. We need people to listen. And I'm sure that's, like, for you were scared because you were afraid that people wouldn't listen, you know, and B, like you said, they told you not to say anything, you know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I pray to God that something happened to the bastard that did it, but part of my language again.
He has since been convicted on multiple charges.
Good.
For
I mean,
this.
That's good for him, you know. I mean, but it sucks because it leaves a mental image and brain in your mind forever, you know.
It makes you insecure.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, so how's that? You know, like how are you doing day to day and things of that nature? You know, like I'm sure it has to be hard. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I have my daily struggles. I have the struggles I don't think about a lot, and luckily, it's not a daily struggle anymore.
Yeah.
And that's because I decided to come forward and get the help that I needed. You know, if I never told anyone about it, I think I would never stop thinking about it. But there's days and weeks that I don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yep. It gets easier.
Yeah, of course. Like everything else, it might seem harder at times, but the more and more that you concentrate on being a better you, and knowing that shit that happened in your past stays in your past, and try not to. And here's the thing, it it's not like it's not going to affect your life, because it's always going to affect your life. You just have the steps that that you have to take in order for it to not affect your life, and you're a stronger person. You know, you're
Yeah.
you're you're a stronger person because you came out and you said something. And you didn't hide like your family uh, told you to. Um, and I commend you for that. It takes a strong individual to do that.
Yep.
You know, um, but it's got to be a mental, like, just emotional toll on your body. Your person. How's that? Like, I mean, how has that been? Like, how's your that mental health really going? Like,
So so tell them about the last, let's say, 4.5 years
uh,
since it came out, and your journey from there to today.
Okay. Well, at first, it was a very hard struggle. I mean, for the first 6 months, I was alone. I wasn't sure what to even do with myself. I ended up later on getting diagnosed with a dissociation disorder. It's called derealization, depersonalization, dissociation disorder. It is a mouthful, but when you have to say it a lot, it becomes easier to say.
all right.
It's when you don't feel real, you don't know who you are, and you don't even recognize yourself. And I got that through this. I have, they're re-diagnosing me with borderline personality disorder, from bipolar to borderline personality, because those have, BPD is triggered by events, bipolar is not. So I got diagnosed with those pretty early. And since then, I mean, it's hard to get diagnosed. It's hard. But at least I got the help I need. And ever since then, every day is easier than the next. And some days it's progress. Progress is never just from down to up.
Yep.
Progress is never just a flat line. Progress is whatever your efforts is to get better. And that's something that I've learned, because some days are harder than others for different reasons. But knowing who I am, as like, I'm strong, I got to just repeat these affirmations to myself. And within those 4 years, with the help and myself, I did heal. It will never be 100%. I don't think anyone is that goes through that will ever be 100% healed, but that's okay. And I've accepted that. So yeah, I mean, back and forth throughout the years, I've had a couple hard times. It's also made me develop, with the BPD, I get a thing called, what's it called? Codependency.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I get codependency, which with that and being a fixer-upper kind of person, I like to see the good in people. I try to find the good. So when I do dating-wise, I tend to pick not the wrong people, because, I mean, people can be helped, but people that are not good for me and have their own struggles.
Have they been the right person yet?
No.
They'll never be the right person
for me, because
well, I mean, let's just be honest. The big guy sitting beside you, nobody's ever going to be good.
Never going to be the right person.
Yeah,
no.
I'm just going to tell you that right now. Right? If you're a boy, it would be totally different. Whoever's
shotgun's in the corner for the next one when he walks in the door. You're going to test his will right up front.
But yes, because and here's the thing. It's because of what you've been through. There's always going to have that, especially, Jason, Dad, he's always going to have that because he's going to look out for his baby girl, you know. And here's the thing, my wife will tell you, I was a fixture. I was a fixture upper. Oh yeah, I still am. If you heard her in the background, she said was.
She was loud and clear.
Yes, I'm still developing every day and fixing my life every day, you know. But so I normally don't read comments, but I just want to read this one because it came from a guy that I admire most. There you go. You young lady are wise and mature beyond your years, and by sharing your story, you may help others that have been silent as well. Thank you, and that's true.
And thank you, of course. Yeah.
And that's the guy right there, Shannon Clinkybeard, by the way. That's a guy who I admire because he is doing great things in the community where he lives. There is actually an organization down there called the Greater Colorado Wellness Behavior Council, I believe that's but it's an organization that helps people in the counties down there in Texas who have dealt with suicide or dealt with, being raped, being abused. And then Shannon actually puts on a competition every single year with a group of people called You Matter, and which raises money to go to that wellness council, So yeah, if you ever need to talk to somebody like that, Shannon is a great guy. Like I said, he's somebody that I admire. But yeah, he's right. The steps that you've taken at such a young age, and to do what you're doing, most kids your age wouldn't do it, And I don't want to seem morbid or anything like that, but the suicide rate is astronomically high with young adults. Yeah. Yeah, but you've made it, and you're making it. Don't give up.
We've had some obstacles
along
the way,
and this is disclaimer. This is pretty, deep. If you've tried to harm yourself, this is a disclaimer to you, a trigger warning. But right here in this very kitchen, I did have the wrong med in my system. I can't be on antidepressants because my mood disorder is a mood disorder and not depression. Mm-hmm. So I was put on this antidepressant and I had a very wrong reaction. It gave me suicide ideation, and I did attempt to try to commit suicide. Luckily, they were all home. My sister saw me first, and then I think you woke up because you were downstairs.
Fortunately, I was sleeping on the couch right here.
Right in the living room. And my mom woke up from the noise, the screaming. You called 911. My mother had to hold me down.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah. It's what you're doing is brave, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. And I feel bad because I put them through that, but it wasn't my fault. And that's another thing, is you can't feel selfish. You can't feel any negative way towards yourself.
Never.
And we've told you all along that none of it is your fault.
Yeah.
Nope. Nothing that has happened to you will ever be your fault. And that's what I want people to know, is that whatever you're going through, I mean, especially something like that's happened due to the shit, that's happened in your life. that's never going to be your fault. You didn't cause that. It would be different had you caused it, but none of it was caused by you. You know, and that's it's not like you went out there and blew $1,000 at the casino and you're losing your house and all this shit. Like that's not the thing. Like your life at a young age was kind of taken from you.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. It was taken from you. And that's a part of your life that you'll never be able to get back. But the thing is, you're healing from that.
Yeah.
And that's what people should know is that you can recover.
Yeah.
Like any, and I think that anybody can recover from whatever they're going through in their lives.
Yeah.
And I do apologize about my dog growling in the background.
Oh, I can't hear. We can't hear.
My cat's in the kitchen and my dog is growling at her.
It's all right.
So I do totally apologize about that. So let's move on from that. I mean, that's you had angels watching over you. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not a spiritual. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person. I believe that people are put in our lives for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's something that we all need. Yeah, you were in the. I'm not gonna say you were in the right spot at the right time because that's not a right spot to be in. But luckily, there were people there to help you during that time.
Yeah. And I don't say this enough to you, but I mean, obviously, you guys both saved my life. But what really made me wake up from this trance that I was in, this depression trance, was when I was on the stretcher and I've never seen you cry other than when my dog got put down, but he was crying and he was like, "I love you, Livy." And that's the last thing that was said before I got sent to the hospital. And that kind of just made me snap out of it, that I'm loved. I don't think I don't know if I told you that before.
Nope.
Yeah. That made me snap out of it. And you guys are the reason why I'm here.
Yeah. Damn you. I'm not supposed to be crying over here. I mean, it's awesome to have that support group.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be bad. I knew I was gonna cry. But way to bring back like stuff going on from my past, because I mean, here's the thing. I tried to commit suicide 3 times, and I didn't have that people to turn to because I pushed them all away. So don't, like, everybody out there, don't push your support group away at any time. Suicide's not the answer for anybody's issues in their lives. Yeah, especially with in today's society, that seems to be the coping mechanism these days. Is like that's all you hear about. And like the other day, a kid goes to school and shoots up, a school. Like that's not the coping mechanism. That's not the answer for anybody's problems. Is to cause harm to themselves or others. But you made it through and you're making it through. You got some fucking angels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we all do. So
Yep.
so how are you doing today? Like in this day, in this past couple of weeks and stuff like that. Like how are you doing? Like are you talking to like counselors, things of that nature? Or are you doing it just all on your own?
I have a therapist and a med manager. So
Right.
I talk to both of them. And I have, my support system at home, my parents.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing pretty good. It never gets. Life isn't perfect.
That's correct.
There's up and down days, but I will say I'm doing really amazing right now. Yeah.
What do you say to that, Jason? You're looking at her.
She's in a very good spot right now.
Yeah.
She's been home for 5 weeks now. It's been a rough last, let's say, 8 months or so, 6 months.
Since about January.
8 months, yeah.
Yeah.
With at 20 years old, she's an adult. So there are expectations within the house and rules and
rules.
Yeah, rules.
Yes,
everywhere.
They had those things.
Yeah.
I know they suck, but they have
I'm
them.
turning my hearing off.
Mm-hmm. And you could turn your hearing off. It's all being recorded for later listening.
That's right. You can go back and rewatch it and hear it all over again.
The YouTube?
So there have been a series of disappearances and week at a time. I think 4 or 5 weeks at one time, where she just goes dark and she's at a friend somewhere and phone gets turned off so you can't track location and we don't know where she is or what she's doing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, young lady, and I get why you do it, but you're causing more trauma to not only yourself but to those who are trying to help you. You know, I mean, I hate to say it that way, but
but
when
everyone else has their own mental health too that they have to recognize.
And the biggest problem with that is the fact that we lose the medication
trust.
Level.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to trust, but the therapeutic level of medication is gone when you're gone and you're not taking your meds regularly. So it's always a struggle on the backside when she hits a low point and comes back. But then we have to not only rebuild the trust, but we also have to rebuild the medication.
Yes.
And rebuild your chemical health, not only your medical health.
Balance.
It's chemical balance, whatever the proper term is.
I could tell you as a 45-year-old who used to act like he was in his 20s when he was in his early 40s and late 30s. Right? It's very hard, because I used to be one who did not care about any repercussions, did not care about any rules, anything like that. And it got me nowhere. It sure as hell didn't help with my my mental capabilities. But yeah, like my wife said, you get off those meds, and here you are. You have to retake them again, and then it's gonna the effects have to come back again. But I think that you're on the right path to where you need to go and where you need to be. Stay at home. As crappy as it can be at times, right? You've been through a lot, young lady. But you're strong. Deal with this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know your mom, but I met Jason once, and I can tell you right now, if that were my dad, dude, I'd be happy. I would be home with him all the time, enjoying that family bond, because you only got one family, like real family, blood family, right? And once they're gone, that's it. And especially if they love you and they care for you, I mean, once they're gone, that's it. You just have yourself. And I know that you're not mentally prepared for that. I don't think anybody really is ever mentally prepared for that. But stay home. It's okay to stay home. Do
you mind pinning your wife's?
Oh yes. Let me see. So my wife actually works at a assisted living facility here in Ohio. Um, but she says she sees it all the time at work. It's like the blood pressure pill that takes it. Yeah, it's not like the pill. It doesn't take in effect automatically.
Mm-hmm.
There's testing out there with a simple saliva test,
And
they
I've
can
taken
use.
that.
All right, so you do that. All right.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is blood work and the saliva tests are very good for finding the right meds. And people who need to be on meds, I want to say to them specifically that it's okay that you have to be on a medication to
Yep.
be okay. That's something I struggled with for a while. I didn't want to take pills. But if you're taking them responsibly and they're helping you, then so be it. And finding the right medication is a game, and it could be a long one, it could be a short one, but it's what's best for you. And as long as you're being safe and you're being monitored by someone you can trust while you're changing around these meds, like for example, when I switch my meds, I usually am like not on knockdown, but like I'm being heavily monitored for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, med changes are always a window of time where closer monitoring is important.
Yeah.
My wife says she has a lot of options for herself. She'll be easy to medicate. She tries to medicate me too at times, but I'm one where I don't like taking meds. I don't like taking like shots or things of that nature. But I'm married to a nurse. Okay, I'm married to somebody in the medical field. Hey, while you're over there, will you give them more water? Thank you. Sorry. But I know being 20-something-year-old, your friends are out doing what they want to do, and you want to be out there, but sometimes it's better to do it with people who know what you're going through than others who don't,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
I haven't been going out either because I'm trying to get on the right track.
Yeah.
Except the nights you sneak out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sneaking out, but do you come home the next day, or are you gone for weeks at a time?
Depends, unfortunately, but usually day after.
But
the most recent couple incidences were next day.
Yeah. But I mean, and the thing is, at least you made it home. I mean, you made it home, and you're at a safe. Never forget, you're at a safe environment. Where that I think that home is a safe environment.
She needs a minute.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to step away and refocus yourself.
Yeah.
So how are you in dealing with it all? Like she said, you've been there through it all. You've seen it. How's it helped you out with your mental stability, things of that nature?
Well, so I don't struggle directly with anything, but I struggle with fighting her fight in my head so that I can be there to help her. And obviously there's stress in the house because, my wife and I have to deal with these situations when they happen, and they are what they are. It's what we signed up for. So you just have to work through it.
But here's the thing: you're not alone. Mm-hmm. I'm here to tell you right now, and I know you got Doc, your business partner. Mm-hmm. But if you ever need to talk to anybody, man, I mean it's hard to do, and I've not been in your shoes. Thank God, and I hope I'm never in your shoes, but. If you gotta just talk to somebody, you gotta get away and you gotta say, "Hey, look, I need to talk to somebody." Like, don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I can, I'll listen to you. I won't have the answers because I'm not a therapist, but I will definitely listen to you. Here's something that Mr. Jeff Harris said. His wife was diagnosed with bipolar and borderline personality disorder. She is 43, and she is just not able to function without medication for 3 years. Mm-hmm. After losing her mother last summer and then being diagnosed with cancer herself, she managed to learn how to cope with life. And
Finding healthy coping methods is
yep,
important.
it is. You
Hmm.
know, and that's a lot of people think that drugs or alcohol is a healthy coping mechanism.
It's
To,
an
to
escape. That's not
yes,
a
it
coping method.
is. And here's the thing, I uh, I drink. You know, I will drink. Social drinker. You know, like, and I've told this on my story. I'm able to sit here in a house with liquor less than 10 feet away, with a whole cabinet full of liquor less than 50 feet away. You know, and not want to take it. You know, especially on if I'm having difficult times. You know, but that like never go to drugs or alcohol thinking that that's going to be the answer to your problems, to the way that you're feeling. You know,
Yeah.
so I think that you know what Olivia's doing by seeking the counseling and by depending on you guys. You know, they say codependency is bad, but I think in some instances codependency is good. You know.
Well, it depends on the codependency. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right,
Yeah.
because there's healthy and there's unhealthy, and relying on your parents to be there as your parents is good.
Yep.
Relying on an unhealthy private or personal relationship, just
Yeah.
because you feel the need to be wanted, is
Yep.
an unhealthy codependency.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, and here's the thing. You know, it, everybody feels that need to be wanted, but
Mhm.
when you got people there with you, beside you, in the flesh, that want you to be in their lives,
Mhm.
that's a different story. You know, because it's not like a flash in the pan, so to speak. You know, that's relationships. Until you find the right one,
And you'll know.
relationships are a flash in the pan. You know,
Mhm.
and that's I went there. My coping mechanism when I was going through the crap that I was going through in my life was to always get in a relationship because I thought that was my answer to my problems. You know,
Mhm.
that was my cope. So to anybody out there, there are different coping mechanisms. Just find the right ones. Don't find the wrong ones, and you'll know if you find the wrong ones. You know, like
Because they're not working.
yeah, yeah. But I I I think you guys are awesome. I won't hold you too long because what you guys did tonight is a brave thing, you know. And Olivia, you got like right now you got 10 people watching, and I can tell you right now that those 10 people are on your side, you know, and you'll have probably who knows however many watch this episode later on that they'll be on your side rooting for you, you know. Just know that know that you're not alone in this fight. You're never alone in this fight. No matter what. Even if you feel like it some days, you're never alone. All right.
Yeah.
Um. So
And
so
I know it took a toll on you.
Yeah, I unfortunately
it's
mentally clocked out.
I know it's all good. But I thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag Team Olivia. All right.
Hashtag Team Olivia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like Jeff Harris said, keep fighting and embrace the ones that love you. You know.
Mhm.
Again, thank you for being strong and courageous to come on and sharing this story. You know, um, hey, you guys are awesome. You know, yeah, I mean it. You know,
We appreciate the opportunity and the outlet for her. Yep.
yeah. I mean that's why I do this. You know, I do this podcast uh, for not only the people that have struggled, but for the people that are struggling. You know,
Hmm.
for people to come on and share their stories. You know, and give other people hope because there's hope out there. You know. Um, but hey, you guys, man, thank you very much again for coming on.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We're going to keep up with you, young lady. All right. I want to know an update on down the road how your life is doing. Um, but yeah, and embrace the great people that you have around you, right? Because you're worth it, right? And you matter to me. But I'm gonna kick you guys to the back, and I'm gonna end the show. But I appreciate it. I'll be back out here shortly.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys. All right, those of you who stuck around, thank you for coming on tonight. Um, it was a very powerful episode. For those of you who will rewatch this, um, there was a little technical difficulties at the beginning of the show, but I believe that was because they didn't want Olivia to tell her story. I truly believe that's, and it's really weird because that's happened with a couple of my guests where I've had technical difficulties and their stories have been powerful. But man, Shape the Podcast has some exciting things coming up in the works. I'm not going to release those things out yet, but in honor of Jason and Olivia being on the podcast tonight, and Jason being with Lucky Boy Beard Co., he's offered you, the Shape Podcast listeners, a discount code to go to Lucky Boy Beard Co. and to get product. This code is available to use store wide, and yep, as Jason just put in the chat, it is Shape 20. Yeah, please go over to Lucky Boy, show them some support. They're awesome people, and use coupon code Shape 20 at their store. I would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. Thank you all for tuning in on this Friday night. I know it's a busy weekend. There's stuff going on all over. You got NFL football, you got college football, you got beard competitions for those of you who are facial hair fanatics. But yeah, thank you all. And thank you all for believing in me and this podcast. All right. Be kind, do something kind, and remember that no matter what in life, you matter. See y'all in 2 weeks.